What's Silkworth say that when we stop drinking, we become restless, irritable, and discontented. And I don't know how to. I don't. How do you ever catch yourself in maybe when in your early sobriety, realizing you're angry and resentful and irritable, and say to yourself, "Okay, I'm not going to be that way anymore." How'd that work? Right? How'd that work? Yeah. Couldn't control my emotional nature. I can't just change like that. A prey to misery and depression. I like the word depression. Uh, More often in AA, we use the word self-pity. I don't like the word self-pity. I like the word depression. Depression is the kind of word that if you suffered from depression and you drank again, the guys at the bar will go, of course you did. Let me buy you a drink. My God, you got clinical depression. They'll buy you a drink for that. They don't buy you nothing for self-pity. They'll give you medication for depression. They don't give you crap for self-pity. And it's such a sleazy, squirmy word. You know, do you ever have somebody come up sober when you're not doing well and say, Bob, you're feeling sorry for yourself. For about a minute, you're not anymore as you want to punch them, right? I hate that. Prey to misery, and depression. We couldn't make a living. 9 jobs, 4 years. It's funny how it's always their fault. We had a feeling of uselessness. Oh my God, that sense of in the 9th step promises the wording is amazing, where it says that feeling of uselessness and self-pity. It will disappear. It doesn't say that feeling of uselessness and the feeling of self, like they're two separate things. They feed each other. They're connected. When you're useless, you're going to eventually feel sorry for yourself. Eventually, they're connected. That useless feeling that I've had this most of my life. That feeling like, what's it all about, for God's sakes? What am I supposed to be when I grow up, if that's ever going to happen? You know, and I live in a world, especially in AA, when I was new, the old timers, I had this love-hate relationship with most of them, and the love was, they were very kind to me and good to me, and I really appreciated that. And I wanted what they had and yet resented them for having it. Do you know what I mean? The old-timers in AA looked as if they knew exactly who they were and exactly what they were about. Their life made sense. There was no spinning in their head as it is in mine, wondering, what do I do? Where do I go? Should I shop at Safeway, or maybe I should shop at Smith's or Lucky? I don't know. I could figure out God's will, which one store I should go to. I'll probably get a better deal. And, crazy stuff. Right? They're not even concerned with that. They're just right as if they know exactly what their life's about, exactly who they are, because they do. They know that they're alcoholic. They've been given what is arguably, I think, the greatest blessing God would ever give His kids. This spiritual malady called alcoholism. I'll tell you why I think it's a blessing. Because without it, I would never be driven, shoved, and pushed into the life I have today. It is what has. It's a double-edged sword. It almost destroyed me and hurt a lot of people through me, and yet, with God's grace, it's the opposite. It's changed my life and helped a lot of people through me. Alcoholism really is, in God's hands, His greatest blessing. In my hands, bad deal. Bad deal.